It was a biting cold morning in the garage. I grabbed my old vise, thick with grease, ready to start a project. But even under that slick layer, a red shadow was there. Rust. Again. My tap and I said, every bolt, always seemed to fight me, no matter how much oil I used. This cycle, this constant battle, felt like a waste of effort, until I found what really works. And I know I'm not the only one who's dealt with this. It's that sinking feeling you get when you find rust on a tool you thought was safe. You can live in a dry climate, keep everything indoors, and it still finds a way. It's so frustrating. For the longest time, I thought the only enemy was obvious moisture, like rain. But the real culprit is something a lot sneakier. Grease is a magnet for dust, sawdust, and dirt. It turns into this disgusting, gritty paste. So when spring rolls around and you need to use that wrench or adjust that vise, what's the first thing you have to do? You have to spend 10 minutes with a rag and degreaser just to clean off the sticky, dirty mess you made months ago. And half the time, you find little rust spots underneath it anyway. It's an exhausting cycle. You spend all this time making a mess to protect your tools, only for it to fail. Then you have to clean up the protective mess and the new rust. It's a losing battle, and it's why I finally gave up on oils and greases for good. They don't solve the problem, they just make it stickier. So imagine a different kind of spring. You walk out to your garage or your shop after a long, cold winter. The air is starting to warm up. You got projects on your mind. You reach for that big pipe wrench you haven't touched since October. You grab the tap and set you need for a new project. You put your hands on the cast iron table of your vise. And everything is perfect. There is no sticky, gritty film of dirty grease. There are no oily drips to wipe up. And when you look closely, there's not a single speck of orange rust anywhere. The metal looks exactly like it did the day you put it away. It's clean. It's protected. It's ready to use, right now. That's the goal, isn't it? That's what we're all after. Nobody wants to spend the first 10 minutes of a project cleaning the gunk off a tool they were trying to protect in the first place. I was reading some comments online from other guys dealing with this, and one person put it so perfectly. He said he was tired of oil because it tends to bleed off, so I have to wipe them with a rag before using them. That's it right there. We just want our tools to be ready when we are. He found another story from an electrician who stumbled onto a solution. He first tried it on his big cast iron table saw, which is a rust magnet. It worked so well that he started using it on all his hand tools. Years later, after being thrown in and out of his truck, used in all kinds of weather, he said his tools still look brand new. And the best part? No sticky residue. This is the key. This is what changes the game. We're not just looking for something that stops rust. We're looking for something that stops rust cleanly. Something that creates an invisible, dry barrier between the steel and the moisture in the air. A barrier that doesn't attract a pound of sawdust. A barrier that doesn't need to be cleaned off before you can get to work. It sounds almost too good to be true, right? Especially after fighting that losing battle with oils and greases for so many years. But it's real. And it's not some complicated, expensive industrial process. It's something you can do yourself, for just a couple of dollars, that will protect your tools all winter long. It completely breaks the cycle of rust, clean, protect, and repeat. You just protect them once, and you're done until next year. So what is this magic solution? It's a technology that's been used for decades by big industrial companies and the military to ship sensitive metal parts all over the world. But for some reason, it's a secret most of us in our home shops have never even heard about. It's called vise, which stands for Vapor Corrosion Inhibitor. And that name tells you everything you need to know. It's a vapor that stops corrosion. Think of it like this. Do you know how an air freshener slowly releases a scent into a room? vise products, like this special paper, do the exact same thing. But instead of releasing a smell, they release invisible, rust-fighting particles into the air. These particles are designed to be attracted to metal. It's a bit of simple chemistry. They float around inside any enclosed space, like your toolbox, a cabinet, or even just a heavy-duty plastic bag. And when they find a piece of steel, they land on it and bond to the surface. They create an incredibly thin, invisible shield. We're talking a layer that's just a few molecules thick. You can't see it, you can't feel it, and it leaves absolutely zero residue. This microscopic shield is what does all the work. It forms a complete barrier between the metal and the moisture in the air. Remember how we talked about those big temperature swings causing condensation on your tools? That moisture is the enemy. Well, with this DCI shield in place, that moisture physically can't touch the steel. Roast literally has no way to start. It's like putting a perfect, invisible raincoat on every single tool you own. And the best part is how cheap and easy this is. This isn't some complicated spray or messy dip. You can buy big sheets of VCI paper online for just a couple of bucks. It is all you have to do. First, make sure your tools are clean and completely dry. You don't want to trap any moisture or dirt in with them. Then, just put your tools in a container that can be closed up. Your main toolbox, a specific drawer for your precision tools, or even a big Ziploc bag for smaller items. Then just seal it up. That's it. You're done.